Clear, clean, and crisp. Check us out in digital quality sound on FM 98.9 HD3. Alternative Talk 1150.
And welcome back, folks. Thanks for joining us here today on Conscious Talk, radio that makes a difference. I want to remind you, folks, the website is conscioustalk.net. You get to hear this show and a lot of other shows on our archive section.
All of them.
All of them can be downloaded for free. Lots of information for your listening pleasure and also to educate you a little bit. So be sure and hop on the site, conscioustalk.net.
Yes, and you can see Brenda's, great face on the net also. So there you go.
Well, you too, honey.
Yeah, well, I'm right. Look at that. Isn't that just love? Well, I'm Rob Spears, and of course you've been hearing the beautiful voice of Brenda Michaels, but we are now here with Christopher and Ophelia DeSaris, and they are representing, or they have a group. They're the founders of a group called WSO Men, and
Men Speak Out.
But Christopher is the editor of their mini zine, which is a WSO, which is your initials for Women Speak Out, or WSO Men Speak Out, which is a quarterly online publication. And you are a public speaker and a freelance writer with a lifelong passion of the psychology and sociology.
And he's also the co-founder of WSO Men Speak Out. And Ophelia is the director of Ophelia's Love and co-founder of WSO Men Speak Out. And she has a style uniquely all her own. I can attest to that, Ophelia. Hey, just the name has got a lot of class.
I know. It's very so guys,
Shakespearean. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell us, what is WSO Men Speak Out and why you created this?
Well, Women Speak Out is actually a nonprofit organization. And we work in outreach and community services, basically reaching out to survivors of violence and abuse, as well as their families and the community at large. So we do that through online resources, public speaking engagements, workshops. We have, like you said, the quarterly mini-zine, and we also have a YouTube series called WSO TV.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I guess your focus is also on college campuses. Because, it's like one of the things that you led with in the information that we got from you was that 1 in 4 women will be sexually assaulted on a college campus, which this is a very different situation from our day.
Well, it's very different in that the statistics are coming forward, but...
Probably
say that
the reality isn't different, but it's the fact that we hear about it.
The life right now is very different. I mean, generationally, it's changing, but it's every 2 minutes. So someone is sexually assaulted in this country every 2 minutes. And let's not forget that those statistics are based on those that actually come forward and report. And males, as Chris will attest to, they're like 10% reporting rate.
And that was my question to you, Chris, is, because we do hear a lot from the female gender, but we rarely hear about the male. Why?
Well, there's a lot with men. They're kind of like hit with some unique issues that aren't female survivors don't usually have to deal with. I usually talk about the male myths, and these are things that prevent male survivors from coming forward. And one of those things is, for instance, me growing up as a kid, one of the first things I was taught was how to protect myself. And it's kind of ingrained to you as a child and growing up as a man that you can't be a victim. And a lot of people look at men as not being able to be victims. So it's hard to address your victimization and work through that unless you see yourself, okay, this happened to me. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't in a position of power. So there's very many myths that men have to deal with and get through in order to join the women and speak out.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense where men are concerned is, you're supposed to be strong and you're the ones that rescue us.
And women are allowed to show weakness.
Yes, and be vulnerable. Quote, unquote, and you're not allowed nor taught to be vulnerable or to show that kind of weakness. And so you probably beat yourselves up tremendously more than maybe a woman does on some level based on all that type of upbringing.
Yes, and all survivors have to take a look at their abuse, and they have to entertain it in their mind, say, what does this mean to me? What does this make me? And if you look at the statistics, a lot of the perpetrators are men. You know, the predominantly statistical men are perpetrators. And so that could be very alienating for men. And for male survivors, another issue is, if I'm a survivor of abuse, will I go on to re-abuse somebody? Am I destined to become an abuser as well? So that can keep them from coming out and accessing the resources that they need to in order to begin a dialogue and begin recovery.
Yeah. Well, so this kind of information is where we start. And this is what you do, and it's what we do. It's about raising consciousness. It's about awareness. So when we come back, we're going to discover how we do this. We're talking with Chris and Ophelia DeSaris. They have a group that, and it's interesting when you write the name of it, it's Women Speak Out, but it's written in WO, the first two letters in parentheses,
yes.
which you call and it's always been a thing about me, about restrooms, you know, it's the WO men room, you know.
We like to differentiate but work together.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, stay tuned, folks. We have a lot more to come, and we'll be right back.
Alternative Talk 1150 is now being broadcast in digital quality on FM 98.9 HD3. So rejoice, you early adopters of technology.
Oh, good friends we've lost along the way. In this bright future, you can't forget your past.
And welcome back to Conscious Talk Radio that makes a difference. We're changing the world one listener at a time, and it's you, still.
Yes.
The website's conscioustalk.net if you want to hear this show and all the shows we do. We keep them there for up to a year for free in our archive section, and that's because you support our sponsors, and we thank you very much. Keep it up. We love this community. We love being part of it.